You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to Offensive Lines. I'm Marlon.
I'm Boyd.
And I am the champion.
Yeah, and I'm walking around with an air cast on my leg. Yes, I lost our fantasy final.
We won't.
Not that anybody cares but you and I.
Yeah, but we won't talk about that much except to say that both your quarterbacks on your roster broke their fibula.
Yeah. It was great. And I think I was more upset with the Titans' playoff shot going out the fucking window than fantasy, to be honest.
As you should be.
And still had a glimmer of hope at the game Sunday, meaning something, till Randy fucking Bullock chunked his way fucking 42-yard field goal. I'm like, oh, the game on Sunday's going to mean something. It's going to mean something. My wife's sitting beside me. I'm watching it on my phone. I'm like, oh, Titans, this could still get in the playoffs. And they completed, I think, 2 fourth-down passes on that drive just to fucking even dig the knife in a little deeper, fucking Bengals. And then he misses the field goal, and I said to my wife, he fucking missed it. Couldn't fucking believe it.
And to add insult to injury, we had a money line bet on that.
Yep. That wasn't even in my head when he was kicking that. I was just thinking, playoff shot. Because our defense could keep us in a Matt Castle game against that fucking offense.
Well, yeah, but that's the hierarchy. You cheer for your team, then you go for traditional gambling, and then you worry about fantasy, which is at least 40% luck.
Yeah.
So...
And the rest of it's draft day, so your strategy isn't, there's not a whole ton.
Waiver wire matters. I won on waiver wire.
No,
so.
It does, but not... But you're not flipping your whole team over. You basically have the same lineup except for, like you said, the odd waiver wire guy you get and bye weeks. It's not. There's no science to it.
Not and no science, very little science.
Yeah. It's got... I started Mariota because Carr had a bad finger and looked like shit the week before.
Yeah.
That's my reasoning.
It's solid
it was
reasoning.
Just my own head, and it fucked me. Well, I still would have lost, but would have made me feel better.
Well, and just to say, maybe we're getting to it early here, too. The Titans were getting curb stomped by the Jaguars before Mariota went down. It was 25-10 when he went down. So that's...
He scored a touchdown and got the ball back right away. So, after he got hurt, but... Or no, we didn't. No, they went on then they went on a drive for 7 minutes, or 4 minutes and scored. No, you're right. We made it a one-score game, possession, with like 9 minutes left, I think. And then Jacksonville took 4 or 5 minutes off and scored that fucking goofy touchdown.
Throwing it to Bortles?
Bortles, yeah.
That had to hurt.
Oh, and I just shut it off. I'm like, we're done.
Though that wasn't quite as cruel as Dontario Poe throwing the touchdown for Kansas City in the Denver game, which delighted me, I have to say.
Oh, I thought you were going to say as cruel as the Chargers losing to Cleveland.
Yeah. 5th string running back, 4th string, whatever. This is why, no offense, I don't really... Oh, you guys lost quarterbacks. You know, Raiders have 8 or 7 guys on IR. Titans have less, and we just put our 19th on, including, 7 starters. So, the NFL is becoming a little bit about who gets hurt less.
Yeah. Oh, it's been that way for years, though. I think you're noticing it more now because it's your team that's hit the injury bug for 2-3 years in a row.
3, yeah. Yeah, no, you're probably right on that. I won't dispute that.
It's always who's healthiest going into the playoffs. And right now that looks like Dallas.
Yeah, they're tempting fate. Though I find it hard to make an argument against another New England title.
Yeah, there's nobody in the AFC that scares me to beat New England.
No,
I was talking with
the
a
Raiders
customer
were the
about
last
that
hope.
today. But
Simply because they were at least capable of playing a pinball game with New England.
what? Kansas City's defense might give them some trouble.
That offense is brutal.
I don't care. The Giants' offense was brutal in 2 Super Bowls and 1.
Yeah.
Eli Manning's going into the fucking Hall of Fame because of that defense.
I'm not going to bet against New England though. If Kansas City hadn't lost that game to the Titans, if they hadn't lost to the Bucks, neither of which are terrible teams, right? I'm not trying to make that argument. But it showed what an intelligent defense could do against that terrible offense.
You got Tyreek Hill and a good defense.
Well, Tyreek Hill hasn't caught a pass in 2 games now.
Doesn't matter. He's impacted both of them.
Oh, I know, but it was the same play that he scored on against the Titans. And when I saw it, his moves were fantastic. I loved watching that. But it was the same play, and I thought, wouldn't you practice against that play? And then they tried it 2 more times in the game, and they stuffed it. It's something that can be taken away. And he has hands of concrete.
Well, I still look at what Seattle did to New England. And a competent offense can give that team a fuckload of problems.
Competent offense or competent defense?
Offense.
Okay.
Because that was like a 31-24 game. So the Patriots' defense isn't good. So I don't know who can come out of the NFC with a good defense, but I think we'd have an argument if Dallas makes it to the Super Bowl.
Or Green Bay, even.
Nah. Well, that'd be a shootout.
Yeah.
To me.
And I think a shootout is an attack upon the weaker part of New England.
Yes, but I think my reasoning for Dallas is they can take the air out of the ball with Elliott and that offensive line.
Oh, I think Dallas is the better chance, but I think Green Bay might actually put up a fight. I don't see Atlanta putting up a fight.
Yeah, but we're sucking Aaron Rodgers' dick again, and there'll be a stinker they'll throw up yet. I haven't forgotten 4-6.
Yeah.
And if they really, who was their big win in this 5-game winning streak? They played anybody?
Great point, Boyd. That's a tremendous.
They haven't fucking played anybody. And I know Detroit's 9-6.
Do you want to haul that up and let's just run through that because I think you might be onto something. I mean, Atlanta aren't terrible either. I don't think they're quite ready.
No defense.
They've got a pass rush, though. But,
okay, in every Super Bowl bet we've won, we've picked defense. And we've cashed every fucking Super Bowl we bet on the defense. Bet on the Giants twice. Bet on Seattle.
We've cashed every Super Bowl team bet we've made, I believe. Principal bets.
Bet on Denver last year.
Bet on Seattle 2 years before that.
And they weren't supposed to... Philly, Houston, okay, Seattle, Chicago, Minnesota. I'll give them Seattle. I'll give them a little credit. But
Seattle's not what they used to be either.
no. I said
I give them
credit.
a little credit, yeah. I give
But
them almost as much credit for Seattle. I give them just a little less for Houston. Which sounds shocking to say, but I watch Houston play. I watch Seattle play. There's not much difference.
And that defense, Barkley fucking shredded him. Remember you wanted to bet that game?
Hey,
No,
the five... I have an argument about wanting to bet the Chicago game. The 5 turnovers, yeah, you were right. It had to bounce back to reality. But
well, no, I was talking
that,
about not that game. I'm not talking about the Green Bay game. You wanted to bet against Chicago. You wanted to take Green Bay. And they did the fucking... That was part of my reasoning on not wanting to bet them because they always fall behind. But they came back against Green Bay. I was making the argument against Green Bay doing anything with their defense. Like, they're giving up... Okay. Philly, they gave up 13. Houston, they gave up 13. Seattle, 10. But 27 to Chicago and 25 to Minnesota? That's not winning defense in the playoffs. Hate to break it to you, Packers fans.
Yeah, Adam Thielen going for 202. A couple of touchdowns, yeah.
And so much for them fucking getting a running back. Montgomery's went for 40, 41. He had the big game against Chicago and 23 against Minnesota.
They barely handed it to him, but, I mean, we've talked about this for 2 years now. Fundamentally, the coaching staff has some issues there. I don't know if they outthink themselves or what they're doing, but they might have been in a fight at some point if other teams don't implode against them. Plus, they've also, most of this winning streak, I don't know, they've got most of it on the road. So, but we should recap our bets.
Yeah. But we recapped the one already with Cincy.
Yeah. We had Carolina +3. That was an implosion. I don't know what's going on with Carolina. They're schizophrenic. I hate them. Atlanta's good. That's all I'll say about them. They're a good football team. They can run the ball, they can pass the ball, and they can get some heat on the quarterback. Their secondary is terrible, but Carolina couldn't explode it because Cam Newton seems inept at this stage. That was a loss from, 8 minutes into the first?
Yeah. Well, when I see Newton's numbers, 1 of 11 for fucking 9 yards and an interception, I knew we were done.
Yeah.
And the defense looked good against Washington.
This is a question, though. Is Atlanta's O-line good now? Because that's what Carolina had been doing lately, was swarming the passer.
Well,
they
with
didn't
the
get
threat of the
near
run,
Matt Ryan.
No, with their running, if they're good run blockers, I'll give them that. I don't know with the threat. That's the same thing happened in Tennessee. Once we became a good running team, Mariota didn't get hit until he hardly got touched, and then he gets sacked and breaks his fucking leg. But he hadn't been touched much in those games. They were 7-3 in their last 10 before that Jacksonville game.
Well,
he wasn't getting a lot of hits. So when you can run the ball, but when you can run the ball, Dallas is another. How many times you see Dak Prescott on the ground? You can't just fucking pin your ears back and go.
And when you can't defend the run, see Denver, you eliminate Von Miller, one of the best rushers in the game. They tried everything. They moved him around. They did everything. because Kansas City was running the ball effectively, which I don't think is necessarily something they can do every week, he was completely valueless to them.
Yeah.
He'd get within a
the
step.
Tennessee game.
He'd get within a step and a half. Which is about 2 steps closer than most rushers will get.
Yeah.
So that was a disaster. Cincy, we've talked about. I like our logic on that. We were correct. We kind of called what would happen in this game.
That's the one, you know, when I fucked up on the Carolina bet the first time and did the try bet on it?
Yeah.
We should have try bet that Cincy game instead.
I could have seen Cincy beating them outright. The try bet...
Oh. No, I know, but it would have given us a spread of 6 on either side.
Of 5.
Or 5 on either side. So...
It would have worked out. But our asses were saved by a clever bet we made. And this one was kind of history. These Baltimore-Pittsburgh games are usually tight. So we took the try bet at plus 180 or 185 to take 5 points on either side. We got that. It paid $28.75. We lost $1.25 this week.
Yeah, that saved our bait. Usually, yeah, we'd have lost 10. Getting 2 out of 3 wrong, so.
Well, and which side would you have taken in Baltimore-Pittsburgh?
Probably Pittsburgh, we would have. But they would, what was the line on that? 3?
5.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know, but in any case, the try bet, we've now made it 3 times. We did it in 2 Super Bowls. We cashed one of those. We missed one of those. And we got it here now. And it pays close to 2 to 1. It's a great tool in the arsenal. But it can become so enticing.
Yeah, because the payout's good.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it got to a point, I think Baltimore was up 10? 1 point? I believe? 7 or 10.
I mainly watched. I was at Christmas dinner. I watched the fourth quarter kind of on Gamecast at the dinner, which may have gotten me called an asshole. But
the wording wasn't so strongly used on me, but yeah, I got the hint too. I had it on the TV. How'd we end up on sports?
But when Baltimore scored late, and everyone who's talking, oh, he should have gone down to run time off the clock. Idiots.
Yeah.
You never think about that when you are behind. What? Because scoring from the 5 is automatic. You can do that at will, Boyd.
Oh, yeah, I know.
According to many, many sports analysts.
Oh, yeah, if he would have just dropped down at the 1. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because that's what they teach you in training camp.
Well, and
okay, late in the game when we're down, when we want to run time off the clock, if you get a chance to score, just go down at the 1.
You go down at the 1 when you have the lead and want to eat the clock. That enraged me this week, that I heard and read like 3 people just saying, oh, go down at the 1. Fuck.
You'll be enraged listening to the Simmons podcast tomorrow.
Okay, I haven't listened to that yet, so... Sorry, that's idiotic. Now...
No, when you have a 4-point lead with under 2 minutes left, your defense is supposed to be able to hold.
And Baltimore's defense is generally good. Now,
why did they go
watching
zone?
it... Oh, sorry.
Why'd they go zone against Antonio Brown late in the game? How did he get open late when he couldn't get open the whole fucking game?
Again, I was on Gamecast, so
but he was running slants.
The subtlety.
They were running slants. and he was open on the touchdown. He caught the ball at the 5 and didn't get hit till the 1. How is that possible? Where do you think they're going? Yeah. And I didn't care either way. We were winning.
No,
I just wanted to see Pittsburgh out of the fucking playoffs.
No, you see, I stopped worrying about that because what I didn't want was a Pittsburgh field goal to take us to overtime.
Yeah, and then
where we could lose the bet.
No, I didn't want that either, or a pick 6. That was the other worry I had at the start of that drive. But at the end, when I'm watching, and like Brown caught 2 slants, the one went for 20 to 30 yards. I'm like, what? No, Pittsburgh had to go for a touchdown. They were down 4. So the
no. They won by 4.
Oh, right.
The worst case scenario in my mind was Pittsburgh kicking the field goal because they got in range. I mean, Mike Tomlin, like, have a beer on me because that was ballsy. And if Brown does not reach across for that touchdown, that probably runs out, which would have been fine too.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh lost, but he reached across.
Yeah, I just wanted Pittsburgh out. But
I wanted to win a bet this week. That's what I want.
Well, no, we would have won it anyway. I want Pittsburgh to lose. No, but
the field goal puts us in jeopardy, and most coaches at that stage would not have run that play there, period. They would have taken their 3 for overtime.
I would have lost $10 to see Pittsburgh fucking lose.
Well, you actually would have lost $30. So, yeah.
I still would have been fine with it.
Your hatred of Pittsburgh is stronger than mine.
I fucking hate them.
Okay. As I predicted, and I believe week 9 for the first time, the one Cleveland victory of the year was against the Chargers. I wonder if the Chargers logo has been removed from planes and it's just a big red cross. Unbelievable. Didn't surprise me. Didn't surprise me at all. Didn't hurt me.
I think we both took Cleveland last week.
And I believe when we picked it, we both were, I'm on Cleveland.
Yeah.
I said I was going to bet, just as a hedge, $10 on the money line. I didn't. I should have.
Ooh.
It was plus 220. It would have made me feel a little better, but yeah, it was plus 220. It wasn't a huge one. Everybody piled on Cleveland in that game.
Wow.
And how could you not? Like,
this
is the varsity squad from San Diego.
Well, it was the one everybody kind of circled. I heard other analysts say it too. That the Cleveland's best chance was San Diego flying out from the West Coast into the cold and playing the early game. And it's like...
It wasn't that, man. It was injury.
Yeah, but but when you said it, it was before even this latest string of injuries.
Oh, yeah. That's just because life is cruel. And the latest string of injuries has been going on since the third quarter of week 1. There is no latest. It's just, it's a ritual now for the Chargers to take someone off in a cart. Every game.
Yeah, it's like the old Madden games in the 90s. The ambulance would come out and knock players over. Load the guy in.
That's pretty much what it is. It's like those guys who drive the cars. Usually, we don't want to work today, but they're fucking geared up for a Chargers game. We're going to be needed. This is our time to shine.
Yeah.
But this will almost certainly lead to Mike McCoy's firing, which I can't disagree with much. But what Pagano did with this fucking defense this year, he survived the last coaching change. He probably won't again, and I think that's a fucking mistake. We are playing our 3rd through 5th cornerbacks. Defensive line, we lost our nose tackle. He did a fuck of a job. But I cannot support stability here.
Well, yeah, but if you're saying 19 on IR, how is that the coach's fault?
It's not, but they never look at it that way, man. If they looked at it that way last year with 16 on IR, they wouldn't have fired as many people as they did. And let's not forget, Dean Spanos is an idiot.
Well, Rivers cost him a couple of those games, too. With picks late around the goal line,
Thrown
the Raider game, the Miami game.
Thrown to the 5th wide receiver.
Some of those were bad, dude. Come on.
Some of them were bad, but I don't know. You take 35% of the Titans away. How does he look? You take 35%.
Oh, I was just going to say,
how do they look?
Our receivers aren't better than your 3rd or to 5th string. They aren't.
You teach a new guy every week.
Delaney Walker is the only solid option. Oh, yes, Rashard Matthews turned out pretty good this year. He's the best we got. That's not saying much, but he had a decent year.
Also had no line.
But
same thing. So I'm not crying for the broken legs.
You should.
Well, I'd be crying if I had a broken leg, but all right.
No, I don't. There's not much to say about the Titans. Had to win out. Lost to fucking Jacksonville. I don't know if it was the coaching bump. Don't know if it was the coaching bump or we were looking ahead to Houston a little bit. I think that might have been part of the problem.
I lean to that, yeah.
Came off the emotional win against Kansas City. We looked flat as shit in the first half.
I'm not certain how your team can beat Denver,
Green Bay, and Kansas City in a month and lose to Jacksonville. That's why I'm thinking a little bit of the...
It's not only lose,
hangover.
It was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't good. We were still within a possession.
This wasn't like a ball bounced the wrong way.
No. But we were still within a possession with 9 minutes left. Did it get away after Mariota got hurt? Yep. But we were within a possession. It was 25-18 with 9 minutes left.
You watched the game more than me. I just saw the highlights through Red
No,
Zone.
we looked.
You guys were getting dominated. You guys were getting thrown around.
No, it was just the passing. We couldn't stop the passing game.
No, but you couldn't run.
No, I know, but I don't know. That's why I'm thinking it's more of a hangover from all those other games. And the looking towards Houston this week. Thinking that they could just Jacksonville was 2-13 or 2-12 going in.
Okay, now I think I know what your answer is going to be, but now Mariota's had his season ended by injury twice. Do you worry about his durability?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I do. That's a ridiculous sarcasm. Question. Fuck.
Well, no, it's being asked.
So by who? The fucking guy fell on his leg. It's not like he tore a hammy or blew his Achilles or had a fucking pec muscle fucking snap. Fuck. His durability. Unbelievable. Unbelievable fluke fucking injury. His durability's question. It's not like he got sacked.
Like I liken it to Stafford. We thought he was fragile, 2 collarbones. I liken it the same way.
I never did. I was the one that said it was stupid with Stafford.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm liking the comparison to Stafford.
Like, what, was Brady fragile because he blew his knee out? Fuck. Come on. It's fucking ridiculous. They just need something to fucking type.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. Fuck.
So where are we at here, Boyd?
14 and a half fucking games. Oh. What do you mean, where are we at? Titans are done. Oh, well, we're down $1.25 from last week, so I think we're up like $4 for the year. In and around that range.
Breaking even on gambling is the lie most people tell. We're actually in that zone of truth.
Oh, we'll see after this week.
Well, we can always come back in the playoffs, which we did 4 years ago.
Every year.
No. We were up last year going into the playoffs.
Yeah, we've had a big playoff every year. I think we only got 1 game wrong last year, didn't we? It was something ridiculous, 1 or 2. We were pretty good.
I think we made the try bet last year, and that was foolish. So.
No, but just in the playoffs in general, I think we had 2 games wrong against the spread.
Yeah, and 4 years ago, I know that we came in as big losers and came out decent winners at the end of the playoffs the year the Niners went. So. Yep,
and the Giants' second Super Bowl, we cashed good. In the playoffs that year, the Seattle year, same thing. It's bet defense in the playoffs, people. If there's a dominant one left, bet defense.
That's a good question. Do you have any more to say about that Titans game?
No. There's nothing else to say. They fucking lost their quarterback since he fucked them. Well, we didn't help ourselves, but you still had the back door, at least. And my guess is it would have been a pick 'em even if we were starting Castle against that offense from fucking Houston. I can't wait to bet against them playing fucking Kansas City or Oakland.
Well, if they play Oakland, says that's the South thing, but
no, I'm not betting on Houston, only against. Have you seen Tom Savage?
Oh, I know, but the spread is going to be outrageous.
No, it won't if they play Oakland.
Oakland with McGloin?
Well, if Oakland loses and Kansas City wins, it's Houston-Oakland.
Yeah, so you've got McGloin versus Savage. And the spread will be enormous. Like, everyone seems to think that the bookmakers will not notice that Houston is terrible.
With Oakland, the spread wouldn't be ridiculous. With McGloin starting? With Kansas City, it won't be ridiculous. They're still gonna honor that Texans defense. That's the only reason they're in the playoffs.
And did you not just say bet defense in playoffs?
Yeah, not Houston's. I'll take Savage. Well, if they're playing Kansas City...
All right, is that a new record? 90 seconds for the apostasy.
No. If Houston had an offense like New England or Pittsburgh, I'd say yes, bet Houston. They have an offense like Jacksonville. -1 game. Well, they do.
I don't disagree, but I just think the spread is going to reflect that.
No, it won't. It didn't last year, dude. It didn't last year. They had fucking Hoyer quarterback and against Kansas City's defense, and they were favored.
Okay,
by 3.
Now we're projecting into the future. I just think that everyone is talking about, we want to bet against Houston in the playoffs.
I would bet against Houston. I don't care if they're playing McGloin or fucking Smith. Fucking Savage will throw 3 picks in that fucking game. and no defense can overcome it.
We'll have to see it on the number.
It's happened every year they've been in the playoffs. They've had a shitty quarterback. They've got in the playoffs on their defense, and the quarterback fucking kills them every year in the playoffs. Why would I bet any other way? Yeah. Give them a competent offense? Yes, I would take Houston and that defense in the playoffs. But they don't have one.
Okay,
that doesn't change my opinion on betting defense in the playoffs. It's that specific team.
Okay, say it's the Raiders versus Houston. McGloin versus Savage. What NFL fans have been pining for all year. Marquee matchup. What's the number that would make you take Houston?
If Oakland was favored.
Oh, we're assuming Oakland is favored.
Not with McGloin.
Well, I'm just saying the number. But what is the number where you would switch over to Houston? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be confrontational here.
5?
You would start to take Houston?
Yeah.
Or at least think about them?
Think about it.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of where I was. I was thinking if it's 6.5 with McGloin, I'm absolutely on Houston.
Well, if that's the game, we might even just skip it. Too many variables.
We bet all the playoff games, dude. You know that.
No, not the first weekend. There's too many.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We only bet 3 out of 4.
I'm just saying, Simmons and Sal jacking off to betting against Houston. It's not easy.
If it's Kansas City,
on the number.
If it's even if it's Kansas City, it'll only be 3.
Oh no.
On the road, yes. With all the things you say about Kansas City's offense, it'll be 3.5, which is 6 points in betting terms because of the 3-point home field advantage built in. It won't be 7.
We will see next week. All right. Do we want to talk about this week?
Sure. What time is it?
It's motherfucking game time!
That's right. It's motherfucking game time. No Thursday night game this week, so my lock of the week is gone. Which also hit last week, by the way.
Yep.
I assume Vegas, well, we keep saying Vegas, but, it's the international bookmaking community, is going to adjust to what I've noticed this year.
It doesn't seem to matter what the spread is.
Doesn't matter, just take the home team and the number.
No, but they do. They adjust the line, and it doesn't matter. Even big spreads have covered.
Yeah. Let's try that experiment next year with just small
that's one of our bets.
Yeah.
No, that's one of our. We're going to make that one of our bets every week. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, it could turn 75%.
Around. It hits, Marlon. It hits 75% of the time.
That's what I've been saying. So, but there is no Thursday.
When I try and factor in logic, like with the Giants. That doesn't even fucking work.
The hilarious part of this, Boyd, is I went against that, and you cited it. I think it was in week 3, and I lost the game, and you got it, and I said, no, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
I am never doing anything else.
I think I've went against it 3 or 4 times since.
Oh, yeah, I think you went against it the last 3 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to put logic into it, and it's stupid to even think about. You had the right idea.
Don't waste brains. But that doesn't apply this week. So the first game we have on the board is Baltimore plus 2.5 at Cincy.
No.
No?
No.
I like Baltimore a fair bit.
Yeah, but they're playing for absolutely nothing.
And Cincy's playing for what?
No, I know, but why is Cincy a favorite?
Because they're at home.
No. They're not even getting the full home field advantage.
Because they don't have much of a home field advantage. Baltimore looked pretty good. Like, you're saying a hangover game. Is that your argument?
No, they have nothing to play for.
Okay.
Zero.
I'm on Baltimore, and I wouldn't mind it in the mix.
Oh, well, I would prefer to bet on games that mean something this week, where the teams are going to be actively trying. Because who knows what the fuck they're going to do in here. Either team.
Supposedly, it was management's call to bench,
Green.
to call the season on Green and one other player. Marv Lewis is likely on his way out.
No, he's not.
You don't think so?
Why would he leave?
Gets fired.
No, he's not getting fired.
Okay. Yeah,
They're not going to. They're too cheap. They're too cheap.
Yeah, they'd have to pay him a year.
They're too cheap. He's not going anywhere. And he's a good coach.
I agree. I tweeted, or not tweeted you, but I texted you, meet the new coach of the Chargers, Marv Lewis.
That's wishful thinking.
It kind of was, wasn't it?
It's perfect. It's perfect for the defense you're building to have him there. But he's not going anywhere. Cincinnati's not paying a year. They're not paying two coaches for a year. Well, they wouldn't have to if he signed somewhere else, but they're not. Who on the scrap heap is going to improve that team? The coach. Their problem was management letting all the receivers go to free agency and thinking you could win with just A.J. Green. And when Eifert didn't come back to like week 8 or 9, whatever the fuck it was, they were done.
After the Pro Bowl injury, yeah.
So why are you firing him? Who you can bring in Jeff Fisher? Rex Ryan?
And you're right. I agree. Everyone mocks Marv Lewis. I think he's actually a fine coach, given a terrible, terrible organizational structure. He's made them relevant for years and years and years. So which side are you taking here?
Baltimore, but I'm not sold on betting them.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I marked it on my side. I don't mind this because since he's got nothing, Baltimore is an above-average team.
Yeah, but what does 8-8, 9-7 mean to them? Fuck.
Yeah, but it's Harbaugh. I know it's not the other Harbaugh, but that is a hyper-competitive dude. And have you ever heard dissension in the Baltimore thing?
No, but
they play to win all the time. This
wants to get hurt in week
matchup.
17? Who wants to get hurt in week 17?
He's one of the better motivators in the league.
Too many variables in these shit games.
If there's a meaningless team that will play hard, I think it'll be Baltimore.
No, it's not a bad argument, but there's just too many variables in these games where they don't matter.
Fair enough. We'll see what we get. I like this one. All right, next up. I love the idea of getting Baltimore versus Cincy as an underdog. I just love that.
Well, we'll see what else is kicking.
Okay. Next up, we have Buffalo -3 at the New York Jets.
How bad are the Jets when the Bills can fire their coach with like 4 days of practice time and they're still an underdog?
And they've benched Tyrod Taylor to protect against an injury settlement. So E.J. Manuel, who is goddamn atrocious. And after a Buffalo Chargers game a couple of years back, I just said, he is awful. He could not throw heat on the ball.
How is he still on the roster? Just because he was a first-round pick?
I guess.
Is it still the same GM? It's got to be the only reason he's still on the fucking team.
Must be. Or they had already paid him, so they figured, why not? But he is truly terrible. I've never seen a guy who would throw that basic little corner and float the ball on an 8-yard pass.
Well, the only reason this is -3 Buffalo is McCoy. It's the only thing I can think of.
This is the stay away that you talked about in the previous game.
The
absolute stay away. And you
12
know what?
of these 16
I'm going to take the
games stay away.
Jets because I think many of the players actually, at least on the offense, like Drax.
I'd take Buffalo.
Okay. Who the fuck cares? That's not an insult at you. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
There.
This leads to the next who gives a fuck game.
Carolina plus 5.5 at Tampa Bay.
Don't give a fuck. Don't want to bet it.
Nope.
Can't trust fucking either team to do. Fucking Doug Martin gets benched fucking hours before the game on. What the fuck is going on there?
No fucking shit. Okay, I watched a fair bit of those Tampa Bay games with Doug Martin. Yeah, it was 2.9 yards a carry. And almost any back in the league, it would have been, at best, 3.4 yards a carry. They were giving him the ball, and 4 guys were meeting him. This is what... I don't understand this. And so your playoff life is on the line.
And a guy you're paid $50 million to keep around. You make him a healthy scratch.
Can you figure out what statement they're trying to make?
None. I don't know.
Did he kill a hooker?
You just piss everybody off in the locker room. It makes no sense. And they're trying to explain it away, and I stand by the decision and all.
We can only carry 4 running backs. What? It made no sense to me, and for that reason alone, I have no idea what to do with this game. I'm going to take Carolina.
I'm going to take Tampa.
I'll take the points in this situation. And Tampa Bay's home record is...
It's 3-4. It's not terrible.
Okay. All right, to the next means-nothing game. Chicago plus 5 at Minnesota.
Give me the Bears and let's move on.
I can't make an argument either way. I'm going to take Minnesota just because they're at home. No reason for it. They've been fairly good in the new stadium.
Except for the last game.
That's a perfectly reasoned argument, you know.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Cleveland plus 5.5 at Pittsburgh. Now, you were looking at this. Does this game mean anything to Pittsburgh?
No.
Okay.
I'll take Pittsburgh, but I don't give a fuck. Just because it's Cleveland. Well, who knows, though? Does Pittsburgh sit Roethlisberger in the second half? Because they're going to be playing next weekend. They're going to sit everybody in the second half.
Yeah, if it means sooner. Absolutely nothing, no seeding implications.
No, they're locked in at number 3.
Okay.
Because they're at 10 already, and I don't know, the tiebreakers must go their way because Houston's game means nothing against the Titans. So they're locked in at number 3. They're playing for nothing. You're going to see a lot of Landry and fucking backups.
Yeah. I'm fine with Pittsburgh here, too. I think Cleveland's got the monkey off their back.
I'm switching mine to Cleveland.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's their biggest rivalry game. And Pittsburgh's going to be playing nobody because it means nothing. Roethlisberger, series or two, the most?
That would be the way I'd do it, but...
Yeah, but there's nothing, like, it's not like Roethlisberger's going for records like Dallas is with Elliott.
And he can get hurt at any time. Okay. Next up, we have Dallas +4 at Philly.
I don't mind Dallas as an underdog in this one. They're not resting anybody.
No, they've said they won't rest anybody. But does that mean they get a quarter and a half?
Yeah, but they're not playing a meaningful game for like fucking years, 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they'll play Dak Prescott for a quarter and a half.
I think they're going to try and give it to Elliott that fucking rushing.
This one...
How many yards is he away? 160?
He's not going to get it.
No, but what's the number? 160, 170? Somewhere in there?
And Dallas cares about their individual records? No, I want to stay away from this, too.
Elliott will be playing in the third quarter.
He didn't on Monday, did he?
No.
So why would he today?
Well, my thinking was they'll see how it goes in the first half. And if he's at like 100 in the first half.
No, they don't give a shit. They want a Super Bowl. They don't give a shit. Think about it, man. Listen to yourself.
Jerry Jones does.
No, he doesn't. He wants a Super Bowl. No. The one thing they won't do, Dak Prescott will play this entire game. And Run DMC behind that O-line may still rip up Philly. There's an argument there. But the fact is we're not resting anybody. That means they're all gonna start. That's all that means. Parse the language. But Ezekiel Elliott will get 7 carries on the first drive, and that's it. I'll put it in the mix. Maybe we'll see it, but seriously. They're going to run down. The one guy they will not sit is Prescott, because they do not want Tony Romo to come in and look at all good. And by the way, I agree with that thinking.
Or get hurt. Or him get hurt. There's more of a chance of him getting hurt, getting hit.
Yeah. No, and that's the one guy. They just want to avoid that quarterback.
But if they're leaving Prescott in, they can't take the O-line out.
The O-line never comes out. You only dress 7. Like when people talk about resting, that's an irrelevant argument. No one dresses more than 7 O-linemen. So that's irrelevant. That shouldn't even be considered about resting. O-linemen never rest.
I still think Elliott's going to go for that record.
No.
I know.
Because if he was going for the record, they wouldn't have run him in the second half last week. Correct?
Yeah. No, it makes
why if that
argument.
mattered to the team, would they have not done it last week when he was tearing them for 55-yard chunks? You leave him in against a run defense that can't stop him. Boom. You put him within 30 yards and you keep him in for 30. No, the record means nothing.
I just want to see Dickerson's record broken.
It's not going to happen. We've already seen what their motives are on that. We've already seen it. I can keep him in the mix because I don't know what I want in this slate. Next up, we have Houston +3 at Tennessee.
Take Houston.
Yeah.
Take him on the money line if you're listening. Matt Castle's horrible. We're playing for nothing but pride.
Malarkey's going to be your coach next year.
I don't mind that.
Neither do I. Okay, I wasn't sure if you'd...
No, he had a good year.
Yeah. Mariota developed.
We weren't expected to be anywhere near where we are, so...
Except for you and I, who talked about maybe the notion of a two-pronged running attack was a good idea.
Yeah, we need to upgrade our secondary, which should be simpler to do with the 4th or 5th pick in the draft, depending on how these games shake out. And then our own pick somewhere in the mid-teens. So we should get 2 impact players in this draft. Hopefully in the secondary, and take both first-round picks in the secondary because we can't draft a first-round receiver to save our ass. So don't even waste the fucking pick.
Yeah, but that happened to Detroit too, and then they got Calvin Johnson.
But we're not picking a receiver 4th. We're picking the best corner. In the draft.
No! If you took a receiver 4th, I mean, why don't you just bet on Yo 11 at the craps table?
So,
though that's a wildly unpredictable pick.
We're going to get the best corner in the draft. Because the teams in front of us that are going to be picking need way more help than that. So that should fall to us.
Yeah, and one of the teams in front of you will be the Chargers. Our secondary, when they're not in the hospital, is outstanding.
So we should be okay there. We should be able to get the best corner in the draft. And then maybe take a safety with their second pick in the first round.
Nah, you can't take a safety in the first. I think you're going to take a wideout as your second pick.
No.
Safety third. Safeties can be had in the third. Easy. All right. Next up, we have Jacksonville -4.5 at Indy.
No, Indy's -4.5.
Oh, okay.
You just said it backwards.
Yeah, no, because my notes were pretty scrawled. All right, I actually at +4.5. I love Jacksonville. I don't want to bet them.
No, I'll take Indy. Well, okay. Here's the fucked up thing with Jacksonville. Best first down defense in the NFL. And 4th against the pass. And they're 3-12.
Jacksonville's defense is very good. Well, not very good. Let's call them good.
Yeah. So, how is a team with a defense like, well, I know how it happens. Blake Bortles happens. But then he looked like a fucking Pro Bowl quarterback on Sunday or Saturday.
Well, he suddenly realized his big paydays were about to end, but he's awful. He really is. There is nothing positive to say about that fucking idiot.
But when you have the 4th best pass defense and we have no receivers, it came to bite us in the ass. I talked about it at the start of the year. We had no receivers.
Their run defense is pretty easy.
Bit us in the ass. It bit us in the ass having no receivers because we couldn't get open. We couldn't get open. It was that simple.
Mm-hmm.
So Indy has a little better receiving core than we do. Now give me Indy.
Yeah, you're still taking Indy, okay?
Yeah.
Next up, we have New England -9.5 at Miami.
Another nobody's playing for nothing game. How is this to almost 10 points?
And Miami I have no idea. New England,
I'm
we
taking
spoke
the
about
points.
this against the Jets, and I said they wouldn't run up the score. They didn't. They didn't try against the Jets. It just happened.
No, I'm taking Miami in the points.
Yeah?
You'll see Brissett or whatever the fuck his name is at quarterback in the second half. They're not keeping Brady in the whole game. Because their whole chance of winning anything.
No, that's acceptable. I'm taking Miami, too.
I don't even know how it's 10. Or 9.5. That doesn't even make sense.
Next up, we have Arizona -6 at the LA Rams. Zona's, for all of their bullshit, they're playing hard.
And they're putting up massive amounts of points the last 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Carson
taking
Palmer
Arizona.
has found his deep touch. Do you want to bet this? It's the fucking Rams. They
I'm
just
not
lost
against
to
it.
the Niners.
Throw it in the mix. I'm not against it.
I hate laying that much on a road favorite, but
Nobody stopped David Johnson all fucking year. Not one team.
and at this point, though, you see, if I was Arizona, except for the records he's setting, which will keep him in the game. I mean, I would sit David Johnson and say, all right, next year. But I hate laying this much, but the Rams are terrible. And suddenly, far too late, Carson Palmer has found his deep touch.
Yeah. No, throw it in the mix. There's not much on. The next game I would love to bet, but we can't.
Nope.
So, throw that in the mix.
Okay, KC -5.5 at San Diego.
A team that's actually playing for something and has a realistic shot at winning the division.
Yeah, but they're counting on the Raiders losing too. But I'll take KC.
Well, against that Denver defense with the court, did you see Matt McCloin play in the preseason? He is He's worse than Tom Savage. He's awful. KC's going to win the division.
Yep.
The only hope they have, which won't even be a hope, because Denver's going to do to Oakland what everybody's done to the Denver team this year. Take away the run and make the quarterback beat you. So.
Yeah, no, I like KC.
Yeah.
Next up.
KC, AFC West champions, and we cashed that out too soon.
Yeah, we still took most of our money out of that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, for reference point, we cashed that out when it looked like they weren't going to do it, when they climbed back into it.
Yeah, they're still a bit fraudulent. I'm
But
not saying
they're
they're
going to win the
fraudulent
division
enough to lose to San Diego, but they lost to Tampa Bay, they lost to Tennessee. Doesn't inspire confidence.
No, I'm just saying, we just, for clarity.
Yep.
And openness, that we cashed out on this when we maybe could have hung on, but.
All right, next up. Well, at that point, Oakland had a 2-game lead, 1.5-game lead, and looked fine.
Well, yeah, and if Carr wouldn't have broke his leg, it looks good that we cashed it out.
Yeah.
So.
Next up, we have New Orleans +6.5 at Atlanta. Matters to Atlanta, does it not?
Yeah, Seattle has to lose, don't they? Or are they number 2 if they win? Isn't Seattle 9-5-1 now? That loss? So yeah, if Atlanta wins, they're a 2 seed, no?
I think so. But I'm not going to lay 6.5 on that Atlanta team. with the suspect secondary.
No.
I really like New Orleans here.
I don't know if I go that far. And it's not like New Orleans' defense is stellar.
Yeah. But it's 6.5, and I don't see Atlanta, even though I think they're a good football team, I don't see them as 6.5 over most teams.
I'm going to take Atlanta.
Okay. I got New Orleans. Next up, we have the Giants +8 at Washington.
Are they sitting everybody?
I don't know how this got to +8.
Well, the Giants must be sitting everybody.
Who's everybody?
Well, Eli and Beckham.
No, they can't be sitting Beckham. There's no reason. No one sits a wideout.
When he's the only offense you got? I wouldn't play him.
No, I want the Giants here.
That's way too fishy.
You're good word.
It's way too fishy. There's something going on. There's no way that Eli's playing in that game. To be 8. There's no way. They had to have come out and said something about some players
I was
not playing.
looking for that when I saw this line. I could find nothing.
Well, there's something. Whatever it is, there's something.
I still like the Giants. This is the perils of betting. Washington should not be favored by 8 over anybody.
I'd rather take Cleveland against fucking Pittsburgh than fucking the Giants in this game. There's something going on. Dallas is a better bet.
Well, now we're going into truther shit just because it's fishy. I think
it's
8
Marlon.
with the
It's
Giants.
Beyond fishy. It's beyond fishy. It's +310 on the money line.
I wouldn't touch it on the money line.
No, but I'm just saying there's something going on. That the team that's in second place in the division is 8-point dogs to a team that has to win to get in. When's the last time they were favored by 8 over anybody?
Well, and they shouldn't be. That's my
No,
argument.
It's fishy. There's something there.
Okay.
There's got to be something there. They don't just make a line at 8 without any fucking numbers to back it up. They're not basing it on the team strength.
Especially for the Giants. Yeah, I hear you there, but I like the Giants here. They've given me an underdog number that has really lured me in. Over a touchdown by Washington.
Marlon, if it was if it was week 14, I'm all over it. There's something smells badly.
Okay, so are you going to take Washington?
It can't just be the normal fucking shit.
Okay, well, just answer me. Are you going to take Washington laying 8?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's got to be more to it than fucking... You think the odds makers have lost their minds?
That's truther theory, man.
No, it's not. The lines are set by guys in an office with information. These numbers aren't just pulled out of a hat Monday morning after the week's games. If Vegas was getting picked clean, they wouldn't fucking offer betting on football anymore.
Actually, they have been getting picked clean most of this year. The public favorites have just been murdering them. So I don't know if they put in new algorithms into their computers that aren't so good, but they're getting killed. It's been a brutal year in Vegas for the bookmakers. But moving on. Next up, we
He's
have...
starting. Eli's starting. Just to keep his starting streak intact. He's started 209 games in a row. He doesn't want to rest. My take is to play.
So if Washington is out...
Washington's not out.
I know, but if Washington gets taken out, who's in? Are the Giants trying to play opponent picking?
No, because where are they locked into? Fifth?
Yeah, they can't pick.
Or third? No, they're third. No, fifth. Yeah, you got Atlanta, Dallas, Seattle, Giants. Oh, who's the fourth division winner? What am I missing?
Who are 5 and 6 wild card spots?
Detroit. Well, the Giants right now.
So what? The Giants want Green Bay?
Well, they're sitting at 5.
So they
Green
would...
Bay would be 10 and 6 if they win. Detroit would be 10 and 6 if they win. The Giants are stuck in 5, I believe.
So who's the third division winner? The Giants want Atlanta? No one wants Atlanta.
No, Atlanta's in number 2.
Oh, 2. Okay. Who's 3?
Well, it'll be Seattle or Green Bay or Detroit.
It's not like they're cherry picking an opponent.
No, I think they're locked into 5. Who's the 6th? Who's the other wild card? That's what I'm having brain fart on.
I think it could be Washington. I suppose if they lose to Washington here, they become the last wild card. Washington, Detroit, I don't see a difference. I don't get it. I got the Giants +8.
Okay. I'll take the Skins because the Giants are locked into that 5 spot.
Yeah, no. Week 17 is always a shit show. Next up, we have Oakland +1.5 at Denver.
I would like to bet Denver here.
Yeah, I'm not terribly against that.
Yeah, I know Oakland ran the ball down their throat in the first meeting of the season. That's all they're going to play against. I said it 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Make McCloin beat them. I think they have the best secondary in football.
Oh, without a doubt.
So,
though they looked lazy, and QBX losing that team, which is what happens when
he lost one guy.
No, he's losing that team.
It's Talib. You don't know. You didn't lose the team. This is their biggest division rival. Go out the year with some pride. They'll have a new quarterback next year.
No, I like the bet. They were humiliated on Sunday. The team, they're the Super Bowl champs. They still have pride. This is a case where it matters to Oakland and it doesn't matter to Denver, and you said it means nothing that you want to destroy their hopes and dreams. Sometimes it does. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's why the division games are kind of fun at the end of the year.
Well, yeah, but, that's why I thought your statement that they don't give a shit was wrong.
With Baltimore?
Yeah.
If Baltimore had a defense like Oakland, I'd go with you. Or like Denver, I'd be with you on the Baltimore bet.
I think Denver is one of them. Next up, we have Seattle -9.5 at San Francisco.
It's too many points with them on the road.
San Fran's been a decent cover team most of the year. Well, no, they haven't. I take that back. That was completely fallacious. I don't want to do anything with this game, by the way.
No.
This is just abstract.
I'm taking San Francisco. Just Seattle on the road.
No, I'm going to take
is
Seattle.
Sketchy. Seattle on the road is sketchy. They've got running backs off the street they're trying out this week.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Carlos Hyde's hurt. Oh, fuck.
I have nothing to say about this game.
Give me Seattle.
Oh, you took Seattle? Okay.
Yeah.
Switch, yeah. All right. Next up, we have Green Bay -3 at Detroit.
Green Bay all day. I'll bet this one.
I'll bet this one, too.
This is the only game I was sure of the whole way through that I wanted to bet.
Yep.
Let's book that one.
Okay. Let's book that. Let's book Denver.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so we have Green Bay -3 at Detroit. And for Mitch's sake, I would love to just forfeit this $10 and see Detroit win. I just can't see it happening.
Absolutely. I'm in 100% agreement with that statement.
I wish Detroit had a running game.
Yeah.
Okay, so that Green Bay -3 at Detroit, $10 pays $18.33. We have Denver -1.5 at home against the Matt McGloin-led Raiders. $10. Oh, excuse me. Pays $18.69. Too much holiday turkey. It is booked. Okay, so I guess we need an underdog.
I think it gets down to Baltimore and Dallas.
Fuck. Baltimore, you win out. Baltimore +2.5 at Cincinnati. $10 pays $19.09.
You booked it?
I booked it.
Okay, I didn't know you were ready to go. I thought we were going to talk a little more, but that's fine.
I fucking can't make any argument to take Dallas in that spot. It's like the Giants. Fuck, who's playing, who's not, how long. Fuck, at least your argument of Baltimore, they're a better team than Cincinnati, whether you sit guys or not. So I don't know what the fuck Dallas would be without Elliott and fucking Prescott, or without Elliott for that matter.
Yeah, I think it's just without Elliott. I think Prescott plays. But okay, let me summarize here. We have bet Green Bay -3 at Detroit. $10 pays $18.33. And we are going to be actively cheering against our bet odd.
Yes.
We have Denver -1.5 at home versus Oakland. $10 pays $18.69. And we have Baltimore going to Cincinnati +2.5. $10 pays $19.09.
Yeah, I don't usually actively root against a bet. But you bet with your head, you root with your heart. So, Mitch, the Cubs won the World Series. I'm cheering for Green Bay. My team can't get in. Nobody else's team gets in. All right, you can check out our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device. On our website, offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter @offensivelines for any updates to our blog posts or when a new podcast is available. Facebook.com/offensivelines. And if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm Boyd.
I'm Marlon, and those were our picks for Week 17.
Go Packers.
Really?
Degenerate fucking gambler.